Hey, ever feel like your team's just spinning its wheels, stuck on the same old problems? Or those massive projects grind to a halt because everyone's recycling the same tired ideas? So many projects don't quite hit the mark. Not because people aren't working hard, but because we're missing that spark of truly fresh thinking. We're trying to solve today's challenges with yesterday's playbook. And it's costing us missed opportunities, wasted money, and that feeling of this is just how it is. But what if it didn't have to be? Imagine this. You're the one coming up with these brilliant, fresh solutions that totally wow your colleagues and even your boss. Picture yourself finally cracking those super stubborn problems that have plagued your team for ages. Sounds like a superpower, right? Well, today, I'm going to let you in on a fantastic little technique, a real creativity hack to help you do just that. And nope, it's not another snoozy brainstorming session. This is deeper, and it can totally shift how you see and solve problems. We all hit those work roadblocks, the ones that just make you want to groan. Maybe customer engagement is nosediving, or a process bottleneck is killing productivity. We try the usual stuff, more meetings, endless chats, and often end up with slightly different versions of what we were already doing. Why does this happen? A big part of it is cognitive fixedness. Our brains love familiar patterns, which is great for routine tasks. But when you need to get creative, these mental shortcuts become ruts. We look at problems through the same lens, day in, day out. And you can't read the label from inside the bottle, right? Many organizations, without meaning to, can accidentally stifle real creativity because new ideas often feel a bit risky. They might say they want fresh thinking, but then gently steer everyone towards safer bets. The truth is, the biggest breakthroughs usually come from finding a completely different tool, or in this case, a completely different perspective. So what's this amazing hack? I call it the alternate perspectives method. You might have heard whispers of similar ideas in specialized fields like design thinking, sometimes called alternate worlds or persona strategies, but it's rarely used for the everyday high-stakes problems we all juggle. And that's why it's not really out there in a way that's easy and practical for you to use. Why is it kinda under the radar? Honestly, it sounds almost too simple. We're often wowed by complicated methods, so just thinking differently can feel a bit basic, but its genius is in its simplicity. No big budget or team of experts needed. All it takes is being willing to step outside your own head. Shifting your perspective can seriously boost productivity and spark awesome ideas. Research even shows that consciously trying on different viewpoints makes our thinking more flexible, directly leading to more creativity. The main idea is pretty simple. You deliberately and systematically look at your problem through the eyes of totally different people or even things. I'm not just talking about your customer or competitor, that's playing it a bit safe. I mean radically different viewpoints. This trick practically forces you to ditch those old thought patterns and can really fire up some innovative thinking. All right, ready to give this a whirl? Here's how the alternate perspectives method works. It's step by step, and that structure is super helpful. Real creativity thrives with a bit of a framework. Step 1, define your problem crystal clear. This sounds obvious, but it's so important. You can't solve a fuzzy problem. So before you start, get super clear on the challenge. What exactly is it? What does a win look like? Write it down. A clear problem statement is your North Star for this whole process. Step 2, summon your alternate experts. Now for the super fun part. You're going to create a virtual panel of experts, your personas. The key here, variety of thought. Don't just pick people from your industry. Think way outside the box. The goal is to choose personas whose thinking is totally different from yours and each other's. Here are a few ideas to get you started. The child. How would a curious 7-year-old see this? What obvious things would they question? The historical innovator. Think Leonardo da Vinci or Marie Curie. How would they tackle this with their mindset? The industry outsider CEO. Imagine the CEO of a totally unrelated, successful company, like a fashion boss if you're in tech. What would their angle be? The artist musician. How would a painter or composer approach it, thinking in terms of beauty, feeling, and different structures? The skeptic saboteur, the anti-persona. How would someone who wants this to fail try to mess it up? This is amazing for spotting weak points. Pick 3 to 5 really different personas. Write them down, maybe even find a picture for each to make it feel more real. Step 3. Channel their thinking. This is where the magic happens. Take each persona one by one for about 15 to 20 minutes each. Really try to get inside their head. Ask yourself, how would persona X describe this problem? What would be their main goal? What are the first 3 questions they'd ask? What tools or methods from their world would they use? What would they find most ridiculous about the current situation? What would they see as the biggest opportunity I'm missing? Seriously, try to walk in their shoes. Think about their values and how they operate. Step 4. Gather the outlandish ideas. As you're channeling each persona, write down every single idea, question, or thought that pops up. It doesn't matter how wild or impractical it seems at first. You're aiming for a flood of ideas and brand new perspectives. Don't filter yourself. What would a firefighter do about your constantly overheating printer? Sounds odd, but they might think about heat dispersal or warnings in totally new ways. The point isn't instant solutions from every persona, but to stretch your thinking. Step 5. Find the feasible gold. Okay, you've got a collection of diverse, maybe wild ideas. Now, switch gears and start narrowing things down. Look for recurring themes. Did different personas hit on similar underlying issues? Surprising insights. What genuinely made you think, never saw it that way? Analogies. Can an idea from one persona's world be adapted for yours? Seeds of innovation. Is there a tiny nugget of gold in a mostly impractical idea that could be groundbreaking if adapted? You're looking for when a totally unrelated perspective shines a new light, leading to a solution that's both novel and useful. The sweet spot of creativity. So why do I call this the boss level hack? First, it systematically shatters that cognitive fixedness. By making you try on different viewpoints, it pulls you out of your usual thought patterns. It's way more effective than just telling yourself to think outside the box. You're teleporting to different universes of thought. Second, it helps you gather way richer ideas. Typical brainstorming can sometimes lead to groupthink, but this method, by design, brings in true diversity of thought. Key for innovation. Third, mastering a technique like this really shows off your creative problem-solving skills. Leaders notice that. It proves you're a strategic thinker. And lastly, it's incredibly versatile. Use it for new products, marketing, process improvement, team issues, anything needing fresh eyes. Many people shy away from new ideas because they feel uncertain. This hack gives you a clear path to use that uncertainty to your advantage. Let's say you're trying to stop customers from leaving, reduce churn. Your 7-year-old persona might ask, are they not having fun? Did someone make them sad? This could make you think about the emotional journey of your customer. Your historical innovator persona, like Benjamin Franklin, might focus on community and shared value, leading to loyalty programs with genuinely useful perks. An industry outsider CEO, say from a gaming company, might suggest adding game like elements or community building ideas you'd never considered. Or struggling with a clunky internal approval process, a Michelin star chef persona would obsess over efficiency and precision, inspiring a radical streamlining. An air traffic controller persona would focus on clear communication and responsibility, helping you spot bottlenecks fast. The point isn't to directly copy them, but to use their way of thinking to spark solutions in your world. So there you have it, the alternate perspectives method. It could be your new secret weapon for some truly boss level creative problem solving. It's about building that mental flexibility to see problems from tons of angles. Here's my challenge. Next time you're stuck on a stubborn problem, give this method a shot. Set aside an hour, pick 3 really out there personas, and just see what happens. You might genuinely surprise yourself and your team. What's the most outlandish persona you can think of for a problem you're dealing with? Or maybe you have another go-to creativity hack. I'd love to hear about it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And hey, if this was helpful and you want more ways to become indispensable at work, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out. Remember, creative problem solving isn't some rare talent. It's a skill, and like any skill, you can learn it and get awesome at it. Techniques like the alternate perspectives method are just tools to tap into the creative potential you already have. They help you break free from thinking ruts and build a flexible, open mindset where fresh ideas bloom. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Now, go look at your challenges through some wonderfully weird and new eyes. You've got this.